we go.
Hi everyone, I am here with a Bible reading. I'm going to go ahead and do a prayer request at the beginning of the video, and then I will do them at the end as well. We have 4 people on the prayer request list today. Please keep the following people in prayer: Sherman Crabtree. Sherman always has chronic pain. He's got a lot of conditions, including a lot of severe back pain, where he's got a lot of trouble with his back and his kidneys and everything. Please keep Elizabeth Jeffries in your prayers. She's been in a lot of pain. And her birthday is coming up in a couple of days. So happy early birthday. Please keep Eric McFadden in your prayers. He is in the nursing home still, last I heard. They're still trying to get his blood pressure stabilized. He had back surgery here not too long ago. So he's recovering from that, which we know is always dangerous. I hope it works out good for him. My dad had back surgery years ago, and somebody else that we knew had back surgery. All the people we know that's had back surgery, it's made them worse. It's never helped them. But hopefully it'll help Eric. I don't know if he got that laser one done, the new kind. Hopefully that's what they did. I don't know. But he needs prayers for his blood pressure. And please keep in prayer Michelle Watkins. Michelle has a lot of health problems, and she is a widow, and of course she misses her husband a great deal, and she's very lonely. She has, adult children, but she don't get to see them much, so she's alone a lot. So it gets very lonely for her, and as you know, if you've lost someone, some days are a lot worse than others. Some days you're just really, really depressed, thinking about the person you lost, and she's been having a really hard time. So please keep her in prayer. Okay, guys. So let's get started with the Bible reading. Today we are going to read Matthew chapter 22, verses 1 through 33, the parable of the wedding banquet, and paying the imperial tax to Caesar, trying to trip Jesus up again, the Sadducees and the Pharisees. When did they not? But they never could. Marriage at the resurrection. Then we'll be reading Psalm 27, verses 1 through 6. And then we have a few Proverbs. So let's get started. We will start with Matthew. Jesus spoke to them again in parables. Jesus always spoke in parables. Jesus spoke, saying, "The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his servant to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come. Then he sent some more servants and said, 'Tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and fattened cattle that have been butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet.' But they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. The rest seized his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged. He sent his army and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to his servants, "The wedding banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. So go to the street corners and invite to the banquet anyone you find." So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, the bad as well as the good, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he noticed a man there who was not wearing wedding clothes. He asked, "How did you get in here without wedding clothes, friend?" The man was speechless. Then the king told the attendants, "Tie him hand and foot and throw him outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are invited, but few are chosen." Then the Pharisees went out and laid plans to trap him in his words. They sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians. "Teacher," they said, "we know that you are a man of integrity and that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are. Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not?" They're trying to get Jesus to say the wrong thing. Trying to trap him here. What do you think Jesus is going to say? Without even thinking, because Jesus already knows what to say, because Jesus knows what is right, Jesus says, "But Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, 'You hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Show me the coin used for paying the tax.' They brought him a denarius, and he asked them, 'Whose image is this, and whose inscription?' 'Caesar's,' they replied. Then he said to them, 'So give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's.' When they heard this, they were amazed. So they left him and went away." And can you imagine they had to have been so aggravated and so mad? Because every time they tried, they just could not. Jesus got them every time. But they never believed him. They just couldn't leave him alone. Just had to keep harassing him. And here we go again. That same day, the Sadducees, oh my gosh. The same day, the Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, see, we're getting into this, came to him with a question. "Teacher," they said, "Moses told us that if a man dies without having children, his brother must marry the widow and raise up offspring for him. Now there were 7 brothers among us. The first one married and died, and since he had no children, he left his wife to his brother. The same thing happened to the second and the third brother, right on down to the 7th. Finally, the woman died. Now then, at the resurrection, whose wife will she be of the 7, since all of them were married to her?" Jesus replied, "You are in error because you do not know the Scriptures or the power of God. At the resurrection, people will neither marry nor be given in marriage. They will be like the angels in heaven. But about the resurrection of the dead, have you not read what God said to you? 'I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.' He is not the God of the dead, but of the living. When the crowds heard this, they were astonished at his teaching. And that is where we're going to stop with the book of Matthew today. Okay, so we are going to go down here. To our psalm today. Psalm 27 of David. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. For in the day of trouble he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his sacred tent and set me high upon a rock. Then my head will be exalted above the enemies who surround me. At his sacred tent I will sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord. And that was Psalm 27 of David. And our Proverbs today is Proverbs chapter 6, verses 20 through 26. And that is warning against adultery. My son, keep your father's command, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them always on your heart. Fasten them around your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you. For this command is a lamp. This teaching is a light. And correction and instruction are the way to life, keeping you from your neighbor's wife, from the smooth talk of a wayward woman. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyes. For a prostitute can be had for a loaf of bread, but another man's wife preys on your very life. Okay, guys, that was our Bible reading for today. I hope it touched your guys' hearts. Let me read the names off the prayer list one more time. Sherman Crabtree, Elizabeth Jeffries, Eric McFadden, and Michelle Watkins. If you want to add them to the prayer list, if you go to church tomorrow, that would be much appreciated. So we hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I guess the groundhog did not see his shadow today, is what I heard, whatever that means. You know what that means, sure? He didn't see his shadow. Does that mean 6 more weeks of bad weather or not? It does?
I think so. I'm going to find that groundhog.
I don't like the groundhog.
I'm going to find him.
What are we going to do with him? Eat it?
I'm going to cook him. Yum, yum.
No.
Patoxa, whatever.
Bye, guys.